Hi everyone, this is Luv Johar, as you all know me. So thank you so much for coming to this video. This is a very important video, I would say, for all the freshers out there who are, struggling for job interviews, who are trying to get into the cybersecurity domain, but somehow or the other they go for interviews, they try to, clear up first round or maybe second round, but they're not able to get the offer letters. So there is a lot of anxiety between the freshers, and there is a lot of curiosity as to why they were not able to clear the interviews. So today we have industry expert with us. Akshay is here with us. He's running a big company, Anzen Technologies. So he will help us crack this myth and why it happens, why people get that fear, why people get that anxiety. Akshay, please help us here.
Hi, love. First of all, thanks for having me. A very good topic as we've been discussing in the past couple of times. Talking about cyber security jobs and specifically on what to look at from a job interview perspective and cyber security in picture specifically. Yes, I believe that. See, like any job, if you talk about cybersecurity as a job or any job, see, first of all, you need to have the skill set that is required for that job. You need to have the experience or the knowledge in case of a new person or a new domain. You need to have the knowledge to portray it. The third thing, you need to be able to showcase it to the interviewer or the person who's taking your interview that you in fact do have the knowledge, and you need the confidence to bear that interview, that process of selection, which may happen, like you rightly said, in either a single round or a couple of rounds for that matter.
Okay. See, I think let's break it down a little bit to help the freshers understand this a better way. I think first round in all the MNCs now, all big major companies is the HR round, right? I think most of the people are able to clear that round because HR usually checks the personality and overall interpersonal skills. Or do you think, Akshay, there is a bit that people need it
Yes,
there as well?
for cyber security, love, I would say that, since the job market is so, and kind of all the recruiters right now want a person to join as soon as possible, as soon as a position comes up, as soon as a requirement comes up in an organization, the manager, the infosec manager, the specifically who needs that person in his team will want to close that profile as soon as possible. So
Right.
people tend to go towards a technical round in the first place. So I believe the very first round, in some cases it does happen that it's an HR round, but in a lot of cases they first talk about your profile. So they want to understand, they will receive your resume, they will have a telephonic conversation of 10 to 15 minutes where they will see whether you actually are what you are claiming within your resume or not. So they will ask you, okay, can you briefly explain your profile? That's the very first question even I ask to anybody. So I give the person an opportunity to explain everything. Now from, if the person is actually the person who's going to take the other rounds as well, they will ask, can you explain this profile, can you explain this job more, you have mentioned this here and there. So you need to first make sure that your resume is reflects exactly what you know. There's a very common misconception that people feel that if I put a lot of things inside my resume, that will impress the person more. In fact, a lot of times ends up becoming disadvantageous to you. So the idea over here is to make sure that you write each and everything that you know, don't miss anything out, but do not include anything that you don't know. Do not try to misguide the interviewer. Do not try to showcase something you don't know, because that ends up giving a negative impact. So
So,
in the very first round, this is something you should always look at.
so keeping it short and simple is better than making it lengthy and bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, the quality over quantity, man. I mean, that's what I would say to anybody. Write a single pointer. Obviously, see, a good resume is a one which is completed within 2 pages. It should not exceed within 2 pages. That's what I feel. If you do have a profile where it exceeds to more than 2 pages, that's fine. You may go ahead and add something. But the interviewer in itself, you have to make sure everything is expressed within the first 2 pages. Anything as an annexure you want to add, that is all good, or that is all fine. Having said that, So that will be the very first round. Now, if they find you good, if they will then select you for either a face-to-face or a deep technical discussion, or a deep dive into that job role, and very specifically they are going to ask questions. So that is where your own skill set comes into picture.
But what about freshers, Akshay? I don't think freshers would be having any real scenario-based,
Okay,
industry-based. Yeah.
agreed. So so in case of a fresher, see, in case of a profession, an experienced person, you need to showcase what you already know. But in case of a fresher, you need to have your basic fundamentals nailed down. The understanding of information security in general. So even within freshers, the job profiles are different. So a company might be hiring for a fresher level position for vulnerability assessment. A company might be hiring a fresher level position for a SOC. A company might be hiring a fresher level position for a network security. So incident response, forensics, it can be anything. So they do not expect you to be an expert in that domain, but they need you. If they want you for that, they need to understand whether you have the basics nailed down or not, whether you actually know. And even if I'm taking you for a general information security analyst role, I would still want to know whether your fundamentals of information security are clear. I would want to know whether you understand. So at a very basic level, any fresher is supposed to know about what a vulnerability assessment is, what a penetration testing is, what open source information gathering and threat intelligence is, what is threat intelligence or threat hunting all about, what is red teaming, what is blue teaming, what is black box, what is gray box, what is web application. And even when we say, Love, even when I take an interview, let's say you don't have an industry experience, but I would still ask questions like, if I have a web server facing the internet, how will you secure it? That's a scenario I will put in front of you. And what I expect from a candidate is they should be able to think logically and give an answer as perfectly as they can.
Right.
I don't expect them to give a 100% correct answer, but that is where I judge whether they can think like that. So they need to have a comfort with information security or cyber security to be able to crack a cyber security job. They need to showcase that, oh, it's okay, I will be able to handle it cool. And because information security threats keep on coming, incidents keep on coming, emergency alerts keep on coming, so you need to be able to think on your feet. You should be able to respond quickly to anything and everything that's happening. And in cyber security, a lot of pressure is there on the job. It pays well, but it demands a lot as well. So what they are looking for from a candidate is, if you can't even face an interview in cyber security properly, then how will you be able to handle the infrastructure and help in that critical role?
Right.
So I mean, that's a bare minimum expectation. And from a soft skill perspective, from a personality perspective, that you should have, that you should be able to handle the pressure over there. You should have a little patience. You should have confidence. But that's for any job that you're applying for, any job interview that you're trying to crack. But
Let me.
yes,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm just adding one more thing. The definition of fundamental has also changed now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
7-8 years back, fundamentals used to be more basic. 10 years, 20 years back, if you could explain SQL injection, you would be considered like the god of information security. But that's not the case anymore. Now SQL injection is something which even a basic script kiddie and even a simple child who's reading a blog has to know about. So like that, I mean, you have to understand that the definition of fundamentals is not there anymore. Somebody who's trying to tell you that, 7 years back this was the case, and you study and do it like right now, there is a course that was made 7-8 years back, and there are small revisions happening, and they're teaching you the same thing. That does not work.
Yeah. Agree.
I'll give you a very small example. I was talking to somebody, and they mentioned to me that they did a very popular course certification, and they went ahead and they were very confident that they spent so much money on it, and then when they took their first interview, they could not understand half of the questions that they were being asked about.
Oh my God.
And they were like, okay, so this guy is talking about this, they're asking about this standard, have you heard about this framework, that framework? And he's like, no, this certification never taught me anything like that. But see, so that's what, if you feel that this is enough, if you feel that okay, just relying on the fact that I have just taken a test and I have a certificate and I'm going to crack something, that does not work anymore. You need to know what is in right now, what is it that is expected from a fresher right now, and it is more demanding than it was, and it is going to increase exponentially year by year, Love.
Yeah,
Today what we
absolutely.
know as freshers, 2 years from now that will become like even a pre-fresher, that will become like a college level thing.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, there are guys cracking and hacking networks at college level. And
Yes.
when they go ahead and they crack interviews, how can you expect yourself not to be compared with them? I mean, I can understand your situation might be different. I can understand your background might be different. I can understand your condition might be different. But then again, the job interviewer is the same. The
Yeah.
positions are limited. So if they are having candidates like that, why won't they keep that as a benchmark? And why shouldn't they? The benchmark should always be higher. And we should
Absolutely.
always try to scale up to it.
Right, right. So let me throw a scenario here. Let's say there is a fresher out there who passed out from the college. He's already invested 4 years. Let's say he's a BTech fresher. Now he wants to, he or she wants to pursue a career in the cyber security domain. So they have tried giving some interviews for cyber security analyst, SOC analyst, IR analyst, a lot of different profiles, as you know, are there, but somehow they keep on getting rejections. Somehow they don't are able to, crack the interview. Somehow it's becoming a challenge for them. And it has been, let's say, a couple of months or, 6 months down the line, post they are out from the college. Where are they getting stuck? I get these calls every day. So, just help us out here.
Yeah, so in these scenarios, Love, usually there is a gap between what knowledge they have, what understanding they have, and what the recruiter is asking for. So you have to understand which profile are you applying for. Do not try to portray yourself as a jack of all trades. Be very specific. If you know about a certain skill set, if you know about a certain thing, make sure you say, sir, this is what I'm most comfortable with. So I come across profiles, I talk to people, and I understand that sometimes some people are very good in application security but are not that great in network security. I understand that this is a person who may be good in forensic analysis because he's thinking that way. So you need to understand all concepts, but you need to make sure there is one thing that stands out within you. Much like, see, if you look at the course that we were talking about, it's CIRP, right? It's in certified incident response professional. But we talk about so many job profiles. We are covering vulnerability assessment, we are covering network security, we are covering SOC, we are covering IR. So it is teaching you a lot. You qualify for all those jobs, but you still have incident response as a strong point. So now you have a whole deck of cards with you, and you have a strong card. So now you can play as and when whatever job role is out there, whatever the organization's requirement is, and basis on that, you can modify your profile, you can present yourself in that way. And ultimately, it's just the questions. You need to be able to handle the pressure. See, just because I asked you two tough questions, you don't need to say, understand and think that you're in the wrong way. And it's a technical round. See, it's ultimately they may be judging you obviously on your personality, and that is there, and how you handle. But if you are a really good, skilled, hard technical guy, then you will qualify for the job. I don't see any challenge in that.
Right, right. Completely agree. Any tip for the freshers or anything you would like to, add to help them out here? Because I think a lot of people are struggling here for jobs, Akshay.
A tip what I would say is that just do not rely on the knowledge that somebody is telling you is good enough. Just try to grasp as much knowledge as possible. Time is of the essence. Do not try to waste your time here and there. Focus on what you want. Focus on what your requirement is. Uh, Whether it's through self-learning, whether it is through a training, whether it is through somebody's mentorship, just focus on it. Go with it, and kind of just start a role, start a job. There are internal shifts, there are internal growth opportunities in the industry right now. So you need to just crack it, and try not to chase after money in the beginning. Try to chase after a good profile and a good job, because eventually sooner or later you will get the financial compensation that you desire.
Of course, I completely get that. And just to add here, everyone who is watching this video, Akshay has a special packaged, training program which he has designed for freshers, and I think more than 10 batches have already passed, right, Akshay, for this training?
Yeah, we've had a lot of batches coming and going. So we try to keep the batches limited, and we try to space the batches because we don't take a lot of people because we want to stay focused on the kind of candidates that come. The candidates should actually be interested in gaining knowledge and
Yeah,
just cracking through.
right,
So we are a little selective in that matter, but yeah, it's going on and it's an ongoing process. So
right. So anybody, I would say, who is interested to enroll for it, there will be a link in the description box of this video. You can easily go there and maybe try for enrollment for this training program. Thank you so much for your time, Akshay. It was great help. I think a lot of people will get benefit out of this video.
my pleasure.
Thank you.